Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I have been working with a company that came to my house today. We were working on setting up surround sound on the back patio area because I'm going to be hosting a party this weekend, and so I'm smoking 3 butts tomorrow morning. And what I like to do when we're in different, I've been in a few of them, but where several couples get together and you take turns and it goes from one house to the next, like once a month, and it's my turn. And when I have a party, I have music because I like the music. But what I like better than listening to music is I like putting YouTube on my television outside and play, and everybody gets to pick a video, because to me, listening to music is great. I love listening to music, but watching a video behind a song and getting to see it, especially if someone can explain the meaning of it, to me, that makes for an interesting party. So that's the theme of my party I'm doing, and the surround sound is sounding awesome back there. So that's what I've been working on today. Now, the other thing, I just got, Twitter apparently went down today, and it took me a little while to get to have some information flow through from some of my good sources today. And in the meantime, I've been working on some of that, going to the grocery store, getting my butts, and I got 3 big old pork butts. And so that's going to be good. There's one thing that I'm good at, and that is smoking a pork butt, not because I taught myself, but one time my wife's parents bought me for Christmas a class it was a class up in Atlanta where you go and they teach you spend a whole day, and they pull out a piece of meat and they say, okay, now we're going to show you how we smoke this. And they went from every kind of meat that you can think of. And of course we got to sit there and have a few drinks throughout the day while we watched. So they would put a chicken up and they'd say, now we're going to do beer can chicken, or now we're going to smoke a pork butt or a brisket. And that's how I learned to smoke from one of the best barbecue restaurants in Atlanta. And so it's one of the things I enjoy. I smoke my meat on a Masterbuilt smoker, which a Masterbuilt smoker I use the electric, which I really like. But anyway, this first piece of information was I saw it was a poll that Sean Schaefer did. Now I want to tell everybody out there that's listening, yes, we saw a lot of red over the last 24 hours. It's been really awful and And every time you have a really awful day or whatever in crypto, you always hear the same things. If you're in XRP, you see the same people come out and they start saying, oh, Ripple, or the people at Ripple are manipulating her. They're selling, and they're just using. All XRP is for is so that they can make money and go do this and go do that, and then just dump it on the market, and we're just funding their lifestyle or funding whatever they want to do. Well, that sounds like a thought out thing on the surface, but if you have been reading about Ripple and following what Ripple's been doing and seeing who Ripple's been meeting with and watching all of the progress that Ripple's been making, and if you look at how long Ripple has been working at all of this, that is a ludicrous concept. The concept, I mean, these are not the kind of people that get together to run some scheme on people just to pad their pockets for 7 years while they build things and while they're completely transparent out in front of everybody and create escrows to have a process and all that. These are not the kind of people that are trying to pull something over on people. That's a crazy concept, but you see these type of things every time people start to get nervous about their investment or get scared. But do you know how many times, do you have any idea, those of you listening to me, do you have any idea how many of these type things, I think I mentioned it in an earlier video today. Do you know how many times that I have been through this roller coaster where your stomach, it's kind of like you're going down the roller coaster and your stomach just drops out. Do you know how many times I have felt that in order to get to where I am now here? I started in 2013. Do you know how many times that I have felt the rush and then felt the want to throw up moment that you feel today? Do you know how many times I've been through this to get to here? Go ahead and, like I've said, for those of you who can't stomach this, you've got to put your big boy pants on first. You've got to put your stuff on a Ledger Nano S. If you're one of those that freaks out and starts getting mad and freaking out on Twitter when this kind of stuff happens, your digital assets either don't need to be owned by you, or you need to put them safely on a Ledger Nano S. Write down your passphrases, write down your PIN number. Don't show it to anybody. Write it down, make 2 or 3 copies, only written down copies, and put it away. And you need to leave this space for a while and show back up 2 or 3 years from now, even, or a year from now, and you can thank me and other people later. But do not get caught up in all of that because you're expecting something to happen overnight. I've been sitting here since 2013. We're now in 2019. That is 6 years, folks. 6 years. And guess what? I'm not angry about anything. I'm in it to win it. And I'm going to win it because I've studied this thing inside and out. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about this. And the other thing that you start to see in these times is you'll see a lot of the Bitcoin people. This is the time that they'll take to take their shots at XRP and at Ripple. This is normally, it ramps up about during these kind of times. So anyway, what I will be doing, and I've spent today, when I wasn't working on getting ready for my party, I spent today positioning some money so that I could buy. I just hope that the price stays where it is or goes lower between now and tomorrow, so that I can scoop up even more XRP. Bring it on. And sorry for the rant. Okay, Sean Schaefer, at Sean Schaefer 10. How many of you wish you had more position in your favorite crypto a couple of weeks ago? Prices are down, and yet some are scared to buy. Are you taking advantage of this sale? I answered yes on this. 64% of people say they are doing that. Now, I think that there's more of this folded my weak hands. Nobody's going to admit that in a poll when it's worded like that. But I think a lot of people just aren't. I don't think that they're not equipped to handle this. I think that they just need to change their mindset and understand this is not. My dad says it to me all the time. We'll talk on down days like this, and he says it all the time. He says nothing goes up in a straight line. We've had some crazy ups in the last few weeks and last couple of months, and in order to have those. That you don't have those kind of ups in the S&P 500, but in order to have them, you have to have days like today. It's just a part of it, and you need to be ready for it and understand it. Okay? All right, next, this was from Crypto Utility Guy at Utility Guy 7, and he sent a tweet. This is from Barry Silbert. How far we've come. The chairman of the Federal Reserve just compared Bitcoin to gold. Folks, it's happening. And he Fed Chair Jerome Powell, this is from yesterday, and he referred to gold or Bitcoin as a store of value, and that can't be a bad thing. Oh, I just scraped all I had a scab, and I just scratched it, and because for those of you that don't know, because I've told you before on this channel that I had gotten diagnosed with AFib, so I was on the blood thinners. And because I'm on the blood thinners, when I get a scratch, the blood just starts coming. And so I just accidentally scratched a scab off. That's no good. Okay, anyway, moving along. Next, from King Solomon. This is pretty cool right here. Ballers and Bitcoin. He says adoption. He's at XRP_out. Ballers and Bitcoin. Miami Dolphins set to accept cryptocurrencies for payments. Professional sports franchises, leagues, and athletes are no strangers to cryptocurrencies. So anyway, they're going to start accepting cryptocurrency, the Miami Dolphins. How's that for adoption? How about those apples? NBK Crypto, at NBKLYRAD. This one's good too. Fidelity Digital Assets is hiring 10 more blockchain and trading experts. Fidelity Digital Assets, the crypto-focused branch of the major asset manager, is looking to boost its team with an addition of 10 new blockchain professionals. Posted within the last 2 days, the new positions include a range of leadership roles, including a VP, director, and leading software engineer, as well as non-senior positions like a blockchain software engineer, product designer, and others. So they're not ramping this up because this genie's going back in the bottle, folks. They're ramping it up because it's coming. Okay, Chinu Patel at Chinu Patel 29 sent me this. 2 good tweets from Kieran Kelly. Now remember, folks, this guy's been around. This guy's a veteran XRP community member. And so guys like this, when they speak, you need to listen up. Print tether to pump and unscheduled maintenance to short. The exchanges control this market. And I think that he's right about this. You're going to have a lot of different major organizations and major holders that can control this market to an extent and tank it and those kind of things for now. But that's going to change over time. I laugh when I hear all of these people that say, "Oh, stay away from crypto because it can be manipulated and and it can go down greatly in one day." Well, yes, of course, those things can happen when there's not as much liquidity in the system. But over time, that will change because more money will come into the system, and then it won't be the same way. And then next, Kieran Kelly had this one too. I love buying an undervalued asset, and he's tweeting Brad Garlinghouse's tweet, an industry-defining milestone. Remember, folks, this was just what? This is June 17th. An industry-defining milestone. Together, MoneyGram and Ripple are solving the challenges with cross-border payments using the speed and efficiency of XRP. And then today, just because we have a major down day, you've got people out there saying that, oh, Chris Larson and so, they're all selling, they're dumping all of their stuff as if this is all some big scheme. Folks, MoneyGram is not getting involved in a scheme. Let's get real here, folks. I mean, yes, of course, there's going to be sales of XRP. These guys are selling XRP. They've got programmatic sales, but they're doing genius things when they do this with the funds from this. They're doing genius things like creating incubators to create new use cases for XRP. It's good things. They are doing things like going and having blockchain research at universities. That's how industries are created, folks. Industries are born of these institutions. I've told the story of these universities. I've told the story about how when I was a kid, my dad took me to the Georgia Tech campus in Atlanta, and we went into the computer science room, and my cousin was going to school there at the time, and he showed us a thing called a mouse, and showed us this mouse that moved around, and he showed us how it moved around on a computer screen, and he said one day, this mouse is going to be in all computers will use this thing. We laughed. We didn't even know what that meant. And now we all use a mouse. With every day we use a mouse. Okay, this one's from Anthony Pompliano. This was from Chinu Patel as well. Countries known to be developing their own central bank digital currency. China, Turkey, Uruguay, Bahamas, Sweden, Ukraine. Only 189 more countries to go. Eventually, every country will be in the game. I say this all the time. He's right. Every country will be in the game. Next, I'm not going to read this whole thread, but you should. Larry Cermak at Lawmaster this is a several-piece thread. Web traffic on cryptocurrencies exchanges reached 174 million visits in June, which is virtually the same as a month before. Since February, the price of BTC grew by 250%, while the crypto traffic grew by 68%. This could suggest that retail isn't playing a large role in the recent rally. There have been several indications that the price rally hasn't been driven by retail investors as much as in 2017. For example, the number of new Twitter followers of popular exchanges hasn't seen an increase like in late 2017. Moreover, there has been virtually no spike in Google searches for largest crypto exchanges. I think he's making a good point here. The way, see, a lot of people don't remember, but I do. 2017 was crazy. I mean, you've got to understand, when all of this took off, it took off, and it took off for it was like a month or so, as I recall, of waking up every morning, staring at my phone and saying, this is insane. This is going crazy every day. Sustained, folks, sustained. And the money was pouring in. And I believe when the retail investors finally come back in with the real FOMO and the real excitement, it'll be even more than that. Okay, finally, from X-Men XRP, let's see here. I want to make sure I didn't show anything that I would compromise. This is very interesting. Okay. Yeah, he sent me this. It was an article. Fidelity, Deloitte, and Amazon now support workshops for DLT startups. Major global firms Fidelity, Deloitte, and Amazon have begun supporting a new blockchain accelerator program called Startup Studio, according to a press release. So you're seeing these companies are gearing up to fund more and more companies and ideas that will take blockchain to the next level. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button and tell your friends and family that the digital asset investor will be buying more XRP tomorrow, because I've been positioning myself to buy more, and I will be buying more. Thank you for listening.